face. I put ice my twin on credit.
I'll tell you, success is pretty much trial and error.
Okay, baby, she came in, I'm linking.
I ain't gonna lie, I done try to do a monkey video, I done try to do a Migo video, I didn't try to do all type of videos. But none of these videos are working. Look, I'm gonna give y'all an example. So boom, I go on monkey. I say, I just start the recording and everything. That's made so bad. I start the recording, I try to record me being on monkey and it just wasn't working. It's just, the monkey's just sitting there loading, but it's not having, no type of people showing up. Or nobody popping up. So now I'm like, I went to Amigo. Then that didn't work. So now I'm back doing the same thing, which is talking to the camera. Well, the same thing as the last video, which is talking to the camera. So hopefully y'all enjoy these talks. To be honest, this is when I used to do my desk talks. You know what I'm saying? Just talking, honestly. Let's see. Matter of fact, I'm gonna treat it like a desk talk. And I'm gonna see what are some topics that I want to talk about. I say, let's talk about trying to reach success. Now, when you're trying to reach success, it's gonna be a whole lot of failures. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be ready for those failures. You gotta be prepared for those failures. Some failures you can see already happening. And if you see it already happening, move out the way. Don't do those failures. If you can skip over those failures, do it. But it's some failures that you have to have so you can learn from them. You know what I'm saying? The often you fail, the quicker you get to success. You just got to learn from your failures and don't do the failure again. Sometimes you got to force yourself. Yo, listen, if something's not working, how can I make this work? You know what I'm saying? So when you're working on something and you mess up or you don't do something right, it's okay. Because listen, once you start doing it over and over and over again, you're going to tend to learn the right way to do it after a couple of failures. So that's the key. You keep failing to try again. And you keep doing it over and over again, soon you're going to reach that success you always want to get. You just got to keep failing and keep trying. You know what I'm saying? Listen, when I tell you success is pretty much trial and error, it's literal trial and error. You might learn from one thing what not to do. Boom, now let me try this. This is not how you do it, but half of this is correct or partially of this is correct. Whatever it is. Let's say if you want to go to space. You learn I'm partially correct. It's going up, the spaceship is going up in the air, but it's not going all the way up. How can I make it go all the way up? It went halfway up. How do I make it go more than halfway up? You just keep learning. You keep trying. You keep doing trial and error. Soon you're going to make it to space. Soon you're going to make it to success. But to be honest, matter of fact, that's what Elon Musk is working on right now, trying to go to space. Now, that's way more harder to do and on a way different scale than trying to reach success. Reaching success is way easier than making it to space. I'm gonna give it a buck. But that's good to have that mindset. Like, someone can sit there and try to go to space. You can at least try to be successful, and you're more likely to be successful than make it up to space. You know what I'm saying? So try to be successful, bro. Let's just go for it. Listen, it's just like throwing darts at what you call it? You just throw a dart. One time, you might miss. One time, you might not hit the board. But you keep throwing, you're going to learn the methods of throwing the darts. And then, boom, you're going to hit that bullseye. That's how you do it. And you keep shooting, okay. Then you get the hang of it. The more and more you do it, the more you get the hang of it. So you got to keep trying, keep going, and keep pushing. And listen, again, repetition and consistency is going to help you reach success. Because, listen, when you're doing something consistently and you're doing it over and over and over again, you're going to get better and better at it. So listen, you're doing that one thing over and over again, you're getting 1% better at it each day. Now, are you getting 1% better each day? By the end of the year, 365 days later, you're going to be 365% better at the things that you were doing on a daily basis, whether it's a workout, whether it's making money, whether it's anything. So that's why it's important to compound your success. You compound your days. You can have a successful day every day just by doing one thing. One successful thing that's going to lead you to success, do that every day. Soon you're going to reach success. Whether it's working on a business, whether it's working out, whether it's any of that, or even all that together. That's going to help you get 1% better each day. And a good thing, like, you might look at, like, all these rich people, they so busy, they doing things. But listen, they're doing things that the average people won't do, but they're doing it easily. And the reason why they're doing it easily, because they built consistency. They did it over and over and over and over again. So it's almost like it's a robot almost. It's just their normal life. Their normal life is probably crazy to someone who doesn't have that type of lifestyle, who not grind every day. They might hop in a Lamborghini, but they work every day. They might have started off in a Toyota. They might have started off in a Honda. but they made it up to a Lamborghini. You know how they did that? Because they stayed consistent. They kept going. They kept trying. They did it daily. They did it day after day. And by you doing it day after day, you're going to soon look up and like, I finally built what I wanted to do. And then you just continue to do it. And you keep scaling. You keep going. That's one thing. A lot of people tend to get successful and they forget scale. They forget to do the things that they did to even reach the success. You got to keep doing those things. You got to scale. You got to keep doing those things on a higher scale. You see what I'm saying? So listen, if you're making money for something, do it on a higher scale. You got to keep scaling. You're going to build something big. Now, same thing with working out. Listen, the same thing that you started working out with, the same dumbbells you start working out with, maybe it's 25s, maybe it's 20, whatever it is. And now you might got to do 50s. That's from you scaling. You got to scale. And by you scaling, you're going to improve more. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's good to scale. Because listen, you're going to do it on a higher scale. You know what I'm saying? Rather than the scale that you started on. You might start down here, but if you stay consistent, you're going to move up a scale, move up a scale. Now you're on a high scale doing high level things and thinking high level. Rather than if you was down here, you're thinking low level, you're doing low level things, but you're trying to work towards the high level or that dream level that you want to reach. And the way to do that is simply said, and it is consistency. That's all you got to do. Stay consistent every day. You're going to learn from your failures. And once you learn from your failures, you apply the knowledge that you learned. Okay. I feel like that's pretty much, I feel like, is a great way to sum up success. So when you ask someone who's successful, have they ever failed before? I guarantee it. Whether it's a rapper, whether it's an entrepreneur, whether it's anybody, a sports player, I guarantee they missed a big shot that they had. I guarantee that a rapper sat there and made a song that was a flop. If it make it worse, I guarantee that a basketball player had a couple flop games. I guarantee that rapper had a couple flop songs. They learn from their failures. You see what I'm saying? They might have been failing at basketball at first when they first started doing sports. They might have first started failing when they started doing football. They might get tackled every run. They might get tackled a lot. They might lose a game. They might fumble. They might, whatever it is. Listen, you learn from your failures. You fail, but you learn from your failures. Each time you fail, then you apply. Once you apply, you're going to become better and better. Then you scale into the high level. Same thing with the athlete. They learn from their mistakes. They learn from your failures. Then they go ahead and scale. For example, they might go from elementary school to middle school to high school, college, and then college to NFL. Same thing with NBA. They might go from whatever, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, into the NBA. But I guarantee through all those times that they scale, they learn something each time they scale. And I guarantee each path of the way, or each step of the way, there was a failure and there was a win. And there might have been a couple wins because they learned from their failures. Now they just win it. Once you get at such a high level, you might have some failure or something that you like. You might have a little failure or some game or sometimes that you feel that you're not doing what you're supposed to do or you messed up. It's fine. Again, you're still learning. No matter how up you get in life, you can still learn from your failures. So that's how you improve. You learn from your failures, and on top of that, you apply what you learned. And the best way to learn from your failures is writing down the lesson that you learned or writing down the lesson for next time. So then you can go back in your notes and realize, okay, I'm not going to do this again. Instead of me doing this, I'm going to do this. And you just keep doing that. You keep improving. You keep scaling. Now, for an entrepreneur stance, I would say you might have a couple flop business. You might have a flop business, or you might sit there and run ads. You might sit there and do something for your business. It flops. Okay, I'm going to try to do organic marketing. That flop, all right, cool. Run ads, that flop, cool. After that, you might have to sit there and start doing commercials. Might have to get out there and start doing door sales, whatever it is. But you learn from the lessons. And I say it a lot in these videos. Listen, if you want to skip the trial and error phase and you want to reach success a little quicker, get a mentor, somebody who's already know what they want to do exactly what they did, and you're going to be successful too. Don't get me wrong, it's easier said than done. It's going to be a learning curve. But as long as you're willing to get over that learning curve and do exactly what they did. For example, let's say you're an entrepreneur, you want to start a business, you don't know how to, whatever it is. Let's say they tell you, okay, you want to start a business, this is what you do, you make the website, you do this, you do that, you make the logo, all that, put it all in one, boom. You put your product on there. Then they say, okay, this is how you run ads. I'm sending you to my ad agency, you run the ads through there. You give them this amount of money, they're going to turn it into this amount of money. or run this amount of money on ads. This should turn into this. Or this is your ROAS, whatever it's called, if you know. But still, you go ahead, you put the money into it. They show you exactly how to do it. You see what I'm saying? They show you exactly how you do it. They tell you how much money you should put in at least, and they tell you what it will probably give out. Because they've been through it, they've done it, and that's what got them successful. Now they can teach you how to be successful. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's good to learn from people who's already done the thing that you want to do. For example, let's say you're a trader, right? And you want to trade stocks. So boom, let's say you have a person who knows what they're doing. You literally ask them, yo, should my lot size be? How should I trade? They say, okay, lot size should be this type of account, and you should trade like this. You should enter here, exit here. You start doing that over and over again. Then you learn the strategy. Boom. Now you're doing it on your own. And on top of that, doing it on your own, you learn from somebody who's successful rather than doing trial and error. I'm going to try this strategy. Instead of doing that, you sat there and just went straight to the strategy that's already working for someone that's already successful. That's the same thing with any other thing. A rapper. Listen, you get in contact with a rapper who's already done something successful, and you just mimic the exact same thing almost. And you do what he did to get successful. For example, it's this person named Adam Killer, I think his name is, something like that. It's the dude who do like this, the little dance thing. Are you afraid of the grind? That dude, if you know. He's been going viral on TikTok, but he was doing wild stuff. He was just saying different things, doing different things for him to go viral and having a song put at the end. Now, you can do the same thing. For example, he was doing things like, this is someone who letter starts with a H. They do a little dance with the song on there. And that's it. They can go through the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Since this is someone whose birthday is on January 1st, send this to someone's birthday who's on January 2nd. You can just say the date and then just do a dance with your song on there, and it's going to help you go viral. You just do it every day. That's probably the trial and error. He posted every day till he found that one video that, okay, I learned, I got it, I understand it now. But one thing about being a rapper, you can sit there and look at other ways that people promoted their stuff. Same thing with streaming, same thing with even being a sports player. Sports player is a little more difficult, but as long as you're learning from someone who's made it to the NBA, which is said and done. Like, what's the, someone from the NBA. But if you can get in contact with someone from the NBA, anybody, if they made it to the NBA, you learn how they did it, you take their advice, you do it yourself, apply it yourself, and that's it. And listen, let's say you shoot for the stars, or you aim for up there in space, so far, stars, whatever it is. If you aim super duper high, you might not get to where you want to get to, but you might land on the moon. You're still up there. And that's when it's time to be grateful. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be grateful that you even came off the ground. You know what I'm saying? So listen, keep trying, keep going. Make sure you do trial and error, and soon you will reach success. Okay. Listen, you made this far in the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Yeah.